I feel like if you're trying to be a big girl, this should be in your starter pack. In all my adult life, I've never owned 4 bottles of a perfume. This is one of those perfumes that, like, if you left a place like wearing this, someone else will come in knowing that someone just left here. This perfume, I feel like, is a fighting repellent, because before you actually fight the person, you'll be like, can I afford to fight this person? You remember that you saw me with this perfume on. This is hands down my favorite perfume ever. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Dimma here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 5 perfumes at the moment. I know, like, some of you were not happy with me last year, I know, because towards the end of it, some of you were like, Dimma, so we're not going to get a perfume video this year. And I'm really sorry about that, but like, it actually took me a while to build up a stash of perfumes that I really liked last year. But do not even fret, because the perfumes that I'll be sharing with you guys here are the stars of my 2023. I got all these perfumes last year. Okay, there's one that I did not get last year, but everything minus one I got last year, and I absolutely love them for different reasons. There'll be similarities, especially when it comes to the accords and the notes, and I think it just makes sense like that, because I typically would gravitate towards perfumes that smell a certain way or whatever, but they're also wildly different. Okay, let's just get right into it. I'm so excited about this video. So here are my top 5 perfumes at the moment. Okay, so the first perfume that I have here is Christian Dior's Dioriviera, and I have a little story when it comes to this. Guys, I have wanted a Christian Dior perfume for a very, very long time, and I'm not going to lie, a big part of it was to belong, because I felt like all the established perfume girlies on YouTube and on social media, they had at least one perfume from Christian Dior. And over the years, I'll go to their counters, I'll say, give me a sample of this, I want to smell this. And then I never really like what I smell. So I like them, or sometimes I feel like they're decent, but never enough for me to commit. Their perfumes are also not cheap. So I'm like, I'm not going to buy perfume because of peer pressure. But then last year again, I was like, because I remember smelling something on someone. I was like, maybe I have not, like, I should be more patient. Let me go back to the counter. Let me try one more time. So I went there. They showed me all the regular things that I would smell all the time. And guys, I didn't really like anything as usual. But then this had just been released. So this is a summer 2023 release. And they were pushing this aggressively, like around that time. I was like, the new one, can I try it? And they were like, oh, and then the lady starts describing all the accords. I was like, okay, fine. I smelled it and I was like, it smelled so different from everything that I had smelled up until that point. That's one. 2, it reminded me of Gucci Bloom, like, because that particular perfume, like, there were different varieties of it. And when you smelled like like, I think the original Gucci Bloom, it reminded you of the outdoors. So the minute I smelled this, I was like, ooh, like, I've smelled something like this before, not quite, something like this before. And I gave it some thought. I realized it was Gucci Bloom. Guys, I think that this is way better than Gucci Bloom. I think that this is an elevated version. I went back about a week later and we got this, but guys, this perfume is so beautiful. Like, I've had this perfume since last year, but you guys can see that I am spraying it in drops. Okay, you guys will see that some of the cheaper ones here, I've just been using them anyhow. I remember spraying one of my perfumes in my vlogs, and one of you was like, Dimma, is it this perfume that you're spraying like this? But like the other ones, this one is so expensive that I cannot even get myself to use it just anyhow. This perfume reminds me of a very, like, clean, bougie, expensive day outdoors. I know that those words strung together don't quite make sense, but just bear with me, I'll explain. There are some very expensive establishments that you would go to, and they have like a green area or like a garden. Like, this perfume reminds me, or smells like a very beautiful day, relaxed day spent in that type of area. It's very, very beautiful. It's green, it's fresh, it's sweet as well. It's clean. So you know that there are some perfumes like are just so heavy. It's not light though, because I promise you this would linger for days on whatever you spray it on, but then it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. It's not a perfume that I would consider cloying or heavy. It's like citrusy, it's energizing, it's fresh. Like almost like in Igbo, I want to use the word ndo ndo. So when you say ndo ndo in Igbo, it means like alive and fresh and like energizing, like something that is just alive and fresh. Like, that's what this reminds me of in a very sophisticated way. I'm hoping that I'm making sense. But this is such a gorgeous fragrance. So the main accords you get with this is green. So it's not earthy, it's not floral, it's green. So it reminds you of like greenery, of the outdoors, like fresh, clean smelling, like outdoors, basically a nice garden. Not a very floral garden, but a nice garden. So the green is an accord on its own, and you get that with this. It's also fruity, but not too fruity. The green balances that out really well. You get some rose with this. It's sweet as well, and it's a bit woody, okay? This perfume is just like, I feel like it's worth all that marketing they were doing last year. If you've not really been able to get something from Christian Dior, or you find a lot of all their other perfumes to be a bit too much, give Dioriviera a try. I think that it's a beautiful perfume, guys. Like, I just think it's beautiful. It's so nice, guys. It's so nice. I also think that this massive bottle is worth the amount you pay. You get a lot of product here. And you don't need like 7-8 sprays for someone to know that you've used this. The projection is very, very good, like very good. So Christian Dior, Dioriviera, absolutely chef's kiss. The next perfume that I have here is Boadicea the Victorious Jubilee, okay? And guys, this perfume makes me so happy because it's not one of those perfumes that I'll say, oh, anybody influenced me to buy. Not really. If there's anybody that did influencing, it was the store rep who actually sold this to me. So I was on the perfume floor of a particular store and I got to their counter. So, you know, like when you're on a perfume floor, like people are just... It's like a white main market, basically. So they are passing, oh, smell this, oh, smell this. So they have these things sprayed on the paper and they're trying to get you to smell everything, right? In some situations, like I'm a bit irritated in some situations and I'm like, yeah, sell it to me. Let me smell like what you're trying to sell. And I remember like I got to their counter. I think they had shown me something else that I didn't quite like. And I was like, but I'm really interested in the brand because some of my favorite perfume girlies also have something from you guys. Like, I'm really interested in the brand. Is there something that you guys can, like, you know, show me? And the lady was like, oh, okay, so what type of perfume do you like? I was like, oh, I love floral perfumes. And she was like, I have the perfect thing for you. And boy, oh boy, did she have the perfect thing for me. This perfume is fantastic. This is the perfume that I was spraying in a vlog and somebody was like, Dimma, is it this perfume that you're spraying like this? She was like, you should be spraying it like a few sprays at once. And she knows because whoever left that comment knew what I was holding in my hands. This perfume is beautiful. I remember I think that she said it was made with like 7 different roses or something like that. I don't know. But she said it was made, that's if I remember correctly. She said it was just made with about 7, if not more, different roses. Like they had to combine all of that to come up with the perfume or the fragrance that you have in here. And she also told me that it had been made for the Queen's Jubilee. It was launched, I think, or released around the time that, you know, they did Queen Elizabeth's like 70th, like year on the throne or something. That was shortly before she passed. And I was like, okay, show me. She showed me a couple of things, but this, I could not stop thinking about it, guys. This perfume is beautiful. I feel like as far as florals go, there are very few perfumes in this life that I'll smell it and I mean I smell it and I'm not thinking of ways to make it work or days that I would wear that perfume or like what would be the appropriate attire now to pair with this perfume. There are very few perfumes that I would spray. I'll be like, even if I wanted to go outside and run in gym clothes, this would work. You remember that you saw me with this perfume on and it smells good enough for it not to be too much for certain situations. It is the perfect floral. I remember one time I told you guys of how I had done something similar to what I did when I got this perfume and I got Flower Market. There's this perfume I have by Replica called Flower Market and it's a floral, but it's one of those florals that even me as a floral lover, it was just too much floral. Sometimes it feels like too much. Okay, and they use quite a lot of floral notes to come up with that, but sometimes it feels like too much. This is perfect. You know that it's a floral. If you like this perfume, you're a floral girl. There is no debate, nothing. But it just comes together in a way that is beautiful. Another thing I really like about this is just this bottle. This is my most used perfume of 2023. I just have product like left here. It's making me sad, but I'm trying to tell you guys that I have traveled with this. I have done so many things with this. But you see this gold you get in the packaging? It's almost like I have jewelry that I bought around the same time that I got this that has faded. Okay? Has faded. Okay? This has not. So when you pay for this, like, you know that you've paid for something expensive. The bottle feels expensive, and it also like lasts in a way that feels expensive. This is like it's going to 1 year now, and the bottle looks immaculate, hasn't scratched, hasn't broken, nothing. The paint has not worn off. The main accords that you get with this is white floral. So when I say floral, it literally is floral. It's also warm spicy. There's some amber as well, and it is sweet. Okay, it's a little bit sweet. But then the main thing is floral. Like the sweetness is something that comes like, it's not the main thing that hits you, but then it's there. It's also one of those perfumes that smells very expensive, like very, very expensive. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. I love this when I'm going to weddings or to places where you say hi and hug people. Like every time I've had people go, oh my God, Dimma, it smells so good. This perfume is somewhere in there. Always, forever and ever. I hope that I'm able to repurchase it when I'm done with this, but it smells that great. The projection you get with this is beautiful. Like, if you spray it in a room, like, or if you come into a room wearing this, people will know. Like, people who are not necessarily standing very close to you, as they approach you, they can tell that you've sprayed something really good, right? The sealage is also really good. So when I say sealage, is also like, let's say you're getting ready, you spray perfume, and you leave the room. There are perfumes that you know that when you use, if you come back to your room 1 hour later, you can smell that perfume in the room. This perfume is fantastic. I'm also not going to write prices out on the screen. The perfumes will all be linked in the description box. And the reason is because depending on what ml you want to get with any of these perfumes, the price varies. If you want a 50 ml bottle, probably different price. If you want 100 ml, if you want a 200 ml bottle, the prices are all different. I'm just explaining these perfumes for what they are. So Boadicea the Victorious Jubilee. If you're a floral girl, and you love expensive, sophisticated florals, I honestly don't think it gets better than this. And I'm not joking. This was literally my most used perfume of 2023. The next perfume that I have here is Anarch by Maison, Alhambra. I hope I pronounced that right, but guys, this perfume was a gift from my assistant last year, Isiafa. And she gave this to me, like, and she was just like, oh, I think you're really going to like this. And it's so funny because to me, it just showed me like how much she pays attention to what I would say sometimes. And she said she just smelled this and she thought I was going to love it, so she got it for me. And let me tell you guys, like, I've used it quite a bit. I'm also trying to be very careful. Okay, so I have like perfume somewhere around here. And I remember the first time I smelled this, and she was also like, I think you're really, really going to love this. I remember smelling it. I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is me to the T, okay? Guys, this perfume is stunning. Basically, not to be dramatic. And you know the crazy thing is, like, when I saw the bottle, I don't know why I was thinking maybe, oh, $300, $200. Guys, this perfume is actually the most, like, it's the most affordable perfume in this stash. You can even get it from Amazon, and I'm very, very excited about that because I also didn't want a video where I'll list a lot of expensive perfumes and some of you will be like, oh, Dimma, all of them were just so, like, no, guys, okay? If you love sophisticated, elegant perfumes, this is perfect. It gives big girl. It gives sophisticated. It gives bougie. It gives serious, and I know what I'm doing with my life. I'm actually not joking. You cannot smell this and enter a certain place and people will just do you anyhow. If they do you anyhow, know that they are borderline like demonic. Because they woke up that morning ready to fight everybody. This perfume, I feel like, is a fighting repellent because before you actually fight the person, you'll be like, can I afford to fight this person? That's how good this perfume is. The weight of the bottle, mad. Like, I have used more expensive perfumes that did not have bottles that were this heavy. The cap, beautiful. The design, like, the design that you have here, like the tassel, everything. Like, I'm just trying to explain to you guys that this perfume is so good. But then I didn't expect it to be as affordable as it is. The projection you get with this is also so good, considering the price. I'm just saying this considering the price. When you use this, you're going to get a decent like 6 to 7 hours like of solid like fragrance like smell with this. The projection is very good, okay? The sealage is also decent. It doesn't last as long as the other perfumes that I have here. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is understandable considering how much you pay. But then For the price point, this is a very beautiful perfume. It is very lovely and I would highly recommend. The main accord you get with this is woody. There's some vanilla in there, white floral of course, citrusy, a little bit powdery. I would say that this is powdery for sure as well. And I think a lot of my favorite like sophisticated perfumes, some of them tend to be a bit powdery. So this is a bit powdery as well. The next perfume that I have here is Estee Lauder's Dream Dusk. This is not the first time that I have talked about this perfume here. This is hands down my favorite perfume ever. 2023, this goes beyond 2023 because I talked about this in my previous perfumes video. I even uploaded a reel talking about, I showed you guys like this is my 4th bottle of Estee Lauder's Dream Dusk. This to me is one of those perfumes that I'll describe as perfect because it complements me so well. Like there's something very, very calm and elegant and sophisticated about it. The thing I love about this is that on its own, it is a showstopper. Every single time that I'm wearing any of these other perfumes, if I want to bring a little bit of confusion or just make it a bit mysterious, I always go in with Dream Dusk. On its own, it shines. If you try to pair it with another perfume, it does not come there and cause chaos, okay? It knows how to complement whatever it is you're pairing or layering it with in a way that is just matte. Okay, when I pair this with like the Boadicea perfume, beautiful. I paired this with Dioriviera, especially maybe when I feel like I want a little bit of floral with the green, like notes that really just powers through with Dioriviera. This is fantastic. I don't think that Estee Lauder has made any perfume better than this or will ever make any perfume better than this. I'm not even being dramatic. I'm trying to tell you guys that that's how much I love this perfume. And in all my adult life, I've never owned 4 bottles of a perfume. So that says something. So I can't come here and also talk about my favorite perfumes at the moment and then mention everything and not mention this one. Even if I've shown it before, if by next year I still love it, I'll show it again. If I do a second video for perfumes this year, I'm still using this, I'll show it again. That's how good this perfume is. It smells... It smells so good. Everything that I said in my previous video, I might even leave clips of that video or me talking about this perfume in that video here. This is spicy in a way that says rich auntie, you know, black girl luxury, rich auntie vibes. If anybody walked past me smelling like this, I just know they have money. Everything I said about this perfume on this channel in 2022 is still very much true, okay? It is elegant and it is sophisticated. That's just it. It's not too much. It's just right. It gives, I have my life in order. Every big girl, this is like, I feel like if you're trying to be a big girl, this should be in your starter pack. Estee Lauder's Dream Dusk, it should be in your starter pack. Okay? It's just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. The main accords you get with this floral, a bit fruity. It's also fresh, a tiny little bit sweet, and slightly herbal. I feel like as the perfume wears, some of these accords stand out at different points, but I just feel like this is a very, very good perfume. I love this perfume to the point that, like, I remember the last time that I bought it, and some of you actually know that I love it so much now because I also talk about it in vlogs that I remember the last set I bought, I actually bought 2 bottles because there was a sale going on. And tell me who told me that there was a sale going on. One of you sent me a DM and they were like, Dimma, your perfume is on sale. Here, better go and buy it. And then I went and I bought it. It's a very beautiful perfume. I would highly recommend it. If you love floral, sophisticated perfumes, but not just like heavy floral, like if you like it fresh and fruity, or just a perfume that comes together really well with strong floral notes, this is it. Okay? This is it. Okay, the final perfume that I have here is by Amouage, and guys, you guys saw me unboxing this perfume in a recent vlog, and let me tell you guys, I absolutely love it. Like, I've been using it back to back since then. This is my 3rd perfume from Amouage. Like, the first 2, I thought that they were decent. The first one I actually didn't like as much, and I never talked about it here. I got it as a present. The second one I talked to you guys about at a point, and I loved it, right? But then this is the one that I feel like has come together in a way that my go-to perfumes typically do. It's beautiful. There's something very majestic and royal about Amouage perfumes. And even for that first one, for example, that I really never liked, and for some other perfumes by them that I have smelled on others that I might be like, this is not my cup of tea. But then I also get the sense that this was made for, like, I think they think of kings and queens, like when they make their perfumes. Like they smell like things that were created for royalty, I would say. And it's so clear, it's so obvious. Like, Love Delights, like, really, really surprised me. I was excited when I read the notes on the accords that you get with this, but when I actually used it, it smelled so good, guys. It smelled so good. And I actually received this plus some other testers, and I plan to actually get some perfumes from those, like, testers. I'll talk about them maybe later on if I do get full bottles. But guys, this one is so good. Like, the sealage and the projection you get with this is mad. I did my laundry, I think 5 days or so after using this, and that outfit smelled like I had just sprayed perfume on it. This is one of those perfumes that, like, if you left a place like wearing this, someone else will come in knowing that someone just left here. Do you understand? Like, that's how crazy this is. The main accords you get with this is warm, spicy. Something very Middle Eastern about it. Like, the perfume is made in Oman. I've never been to Oman, but the closest thing I could use to describe it is like expensive Dubai, basically, because I've been to Dubai at least, and it smells like money, like Arab money. So most of the time, like, when people say like Arab money and try to use that to describe how someone smells, like, I think of warm, spicy fragrances. It's powdery. It also has white floral accords, which you guys know, like, is a running theme now. I don't know how many times I've said white floral, but it has like white floral accord. And there's also vanilla in here, which I think is like that mystery thing that packs a punch, that you're like, what is it I'm smelling? There's something that makes this thing extra different. And I think, and it's funny because until I read it, it makes sense that it's vanilla, but like to your nose on its own without any like context, you might not even know that it's vanilla. Smells incredible. Like, the package is matte and beautiful. I love it, okay? I have one honorable mention, and I'm not going to say much about it, but I think that if you're interested in trying really new things, or you're interested in a perfume that you've not quite smelled anything like it, like ever, probably you should consider Amouage's Guidance, okay? You guys can see that their bottles always look very similar. The colors are different, but this perfume, I use it once in a while, and every time I use it once in a while, like, there's always like, you smell so different. One of the notes that you get with this is incense, and I remember, like, I know what incense smells like. I feel like a lot of people who are like from northern Nigeria or like Middle Eastern, like Asian, you're familiar with incense. For me, the only place I'll smell incense is in church. And I remember the first time that I smelled this, I was like, what is this? And I never knew that incense could be in something and smell as good as it does outside of how I know incense to smell. This is so different. There's something like almost mystical about this. Like, it's crazy. So this is just an honorable mention. Go read up on this, look at their accords, like, go to a store, tell them to actually give you Amouage Guidance so that you can smell it. And I promise you, you'll be taken aback. You might like it. I feel like there are just two types of people for this. Like, you can stand it or you can't stand it. Or you absolutely love it or you hate it. But it's a very, very good perfume, guys. So that's it. Tell me what you guys are enjoying at the moment. I always ask this at the end of every perfume video. Tell me what your top 5 favorite perfumes are at the moment, so that maybe I can actually go look them up and see if I like them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you're not yet subscribed. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. And of course, every single perfume that I have talked about will be linked in the description box, listed and linked. I love you guys.